Welcome Libras, this is your May 18th to May 24th forecast, and for you what's going to impact you the most will be the moon conjunct Venus on May 23rd. That's going to impact your love and relationships, so you can expect emotional connections to deepen under this transit, and you're being guided to express your feelings and strengthen bonds and foster harmony in relationships. So let's see what else we have going on here. So we have the Nine of Cups here, and you may be finding that at times it's easier for you to just keep your emotions at a distance, and you may even be being like a little more shallow as it comes to the emotions. And I'm not calling you shallow, I'm just saying that you may not be allowing certain emotions to impact you beyond like the surface level, and you may be doing that because that is what you can handle emotionally at this time. We also have the Emperor here, and yeah, so you may also be allowing sort of more of the materialistic energy to play out here. So by what I mean by that is essentially like you may be more focused on the material world and accomplishing some tangible goals and tasks and creating some tangible things here, as opposed to really going within and deeply doing some emotional work here. And there's no wrong choice. I'm not saying this to say like you shouldn't be doing that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just sort of outlining where you are here, and in applying this to your relationships, you may be able to find those the similarities between like you being a little more physical world focused here, as opposed to working on deepening and strengthening the bonds from within with your partner. So we also have strength here as well. So I do believe that you desire to be peaceful, you desire to sort of like tame these emotions here and get control over the situation here that you're experiencing, and it could be good or bad, but I'm just seeing that you're looking to your strength to help and support you in ways to make things balanced, to make your relationships grow and be stronger. We also have the Six of Wands here, so we do have success and victory and celebration here. What else? We also have respect. Okay, so you're really working on, and this could be you and your partner here. Since we're applying this to love and relationships, you may be working together to respect each other more and respect the needs that each of you have more. This could also be if you're applying this to a career situation. There could be a promotion that's in the works, or opportunities for you to increase your finances, your financial wealth and abundance in some way. So a promotion, a raise, a job offer, a chance to partner with someone or collaborate with someone. This could also be like a new business venture that's coming your way, or it could be you finally starting to see more abundance coming to you through those business ventures that you've been pursuing. So we also have the Ten of Pentacles here. And with the Ten of Pentacles, there is really an opportunity for great wealth and prosperity and a happy home life. So happy relationships, really expanding your financial abundance. So we have money and career and relationships all showing up here as opportunities for success. So whatever you desire, whatever you're applying this information to, you definitely can be successful and have a wonderful week here. Let's get a couple messages here. So we have your angels watching over you, and knowing and trusting that they're there even in those moments and at those times where you do have contrast and challenges. Because also with this Ten of Pentacles, this is about you really focusing on the positive and focusing on persevering in times of difficulty, and that resulting in prosperity and success. So we also have you not being alone. Your angels and guides are there for you. Your higher self, the divine, of course, always there. And they are letting you know that they do have messages for you, and they do support you unconditionally and love you unconditionally. And if you ever feel like you need their support, you just need to ask, okay? And then you need to open yourself up and allow them to come through, and then also recognize and appreciate those moments where you realize like, oh yeah, I was really feeling down, I reached out, I asked for support, and then here a little later on I noticed this sign or synchronicity. So this is about you acknowledging that and appreciating that, just being grateful. So let's look at some challenges that may come up for Libra. Okay, so you may feel like it's going to be difficult for you to overcome any adversity, any challenges that come your way. You may find it hard to be brave and be courageous. You may be in sort of, if we do have some opportunities that are coming your way, you may be in a state of negotiation with them. So you may be feeling like, well, can I ask for this? Can I negotiate? I really feel like I deserve this, and I want to say that, but you may have a little bit of fear behind that. We have the Nine of Swords here as well. So this is also about your philosophies and your strategies. So how are you thinking? How are you feeling? What are the words that you're saying? So you're being guided to consider all of those things, because if you're speaking to yourself in a negative way, if you're focusing on the past and you're focusing on things that you've tried that haven't worked out, or you're focusing on lack or what you don't have, then you're essentially telling the universe that that's what you desire, because anywhere you put your attention and your energy is what's going to grow. So you really have to be careful this week on where you're placing your ideas and your thoughts and the energy that you're creating. So we also have the Moon here. So yeah, you are absolutely being guided to go within, and you may struggle with that a little bit here. Okay, but in doing that, it's going to help you from an emotional and spiritual perspective. So if you are feeling like it is difficult for you to manage your emotions, or you're not quite sure what to do with all of it, it's a little overwhelming or too much, you're absolutely being guided to get those self-care practices in, do some breath work, do some mindfulness practices, whatever those practices are that helps you to relax, to replenish your cup, to just sit in stillness and sit in peace and connect within. You're being guided to do that. Because not only are your guides and your angels and your higher self and source here for you, there's messages that they have for you. There's guidance that they can give you. Okay? There's unconditional love and support available there as well. So you're really being guided to go within, and don't skip over those parts. Don't skip your meditations. Don't skip your self-care practices, okay? We also have the Queen of Cups here. Okay, so you may be feeling like you are sort of going, and when I say going within, I feel that's not to say that that's a bad thing or that you shouldn't do that, because we just said that you should do that. But if you're working to build a relationship with your partner, or strengthen the bonds that you have with your partner and those that you love in your life, then just recognize that that is what you're doing. And if there's ways that you can connect externally with them, then you're being guided to do that. So this is not really the time to, if you're working on strengthening those bonds, like be an introvert or go within. This is the time for you to work on, take inspired action towards your partner and toward strengthening those relationships. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense what I'm saying. If it doesn't, let me know. But basically what I'm trying to say is, like, go within to do your meditations and to receive the guidance, but then take the inspired action with your partner and with those that you love to strengthen, to actually strengthen in the physical realm, the 3D realm, the bonds. Okay, so we also have the Chariot here. Yeah, and so, okay, that's all of what we were just saying here. There's a really strong message here about you going within and allowing yourself to be divinely guided, because you're already being divinely guided here. But this is about you recognizing that and allowing it to happen more. Okay, because you're likely already allowing it to happen, but this is about, like, just letting go of the reins. Because as we see, the horses are never attached to the chariot, right? This is about a higher elevation, a higher frequency, and you controlling things with your mind, with your energy, with your thoughts, and allowing yourself to be more connected to your higher self, so that that divine guidance and direction can happen. Okay? So what else? Where else might we see some challenges? Okay. All right. So you may need to address some game playing that's happening. And if it's you, then you're being called out here. If it's not you, then you're also being asked to just be truthful and honest about everything that is going on. Be honest with yourself here about what's happening and what you need and what it's trying to tell you. What lessons are you to be learning from these experiences? So just open your eyes and fully, truly see. And I feel like you know already. Some of you just aren't opening your eyes up to it. Okay? So let's look at some fears that may come through for you. So we have the Two of Wands here. All right, so you may struggle a little bit with setting goals and planning, and you may even be feeling a little discontent about the options that are available to you or about your future. So I feel like what I'm hearing is you set those goals, set that plan, and then take action toward it. So instead of just viewing it as something negative or viewing it as something that'll never work out, think in terms of, like, what if it does work out? You're thinking in terms of what if it doesn't. You're being guided to shift that focus on to the positive. So think in terms of what if it does work out. You know what I'm saying? And what would that feel like? What would that look like? How would you feel? Who would you have around you? What would you be doing? Like, you're invited to visualize the success, and that'll help you to think of ways that it can happen. And your job is not to think of the how. That's the universe's job. But you thinking and visualizing and putting it out into the universe shows the universe what you want, and then you also are opening yourself up to the universe bringing back to you inspired action that you can take. So that's what I mean as far as just sort of planning it out. So these are like very loose plans that you are finding and identifying the steps through your connection with Source, through the signs and synchronicities and the opportunities that come your way. Okay, so does that make sense here? So this is really about you just being open to the opportunities that come to you and that feel good and that you want to do. What else? Okay, so we have Judgment here. Okay, so you may also be feeling a little unsure about how things are working out and how things are going to be accomplished. And we said already immediately that, yeah, you're not to focus on the how things are going to happen. You're to focus on visualizing your desires and your dreams, and then paying attention and connecting with the world and seeing the opportunities and the ideas flow through you and come to you. Okay, and this is you. This may even take like a major shift of your consciousness or an evolution, or you expanding your consciousness to be open enough to see these opportunities coming towards you. But this is about you starting that process and putting in that work of those self-care practices, your journaling, your mindfulness, your meditation, like all of those things, prayer even. Like all of those things that can help you connect within more deeply to allow yourself to raise your frequency to those desires. What else? Okay, so let's maybe look at some potential outcomes. All right, so we have the Six of Swords here. Okay, so this is you being successful after going through some challenges, after going through the journey and having ups and downs and learning so much from it. There's so many lessons available to you that you've designed for yourself as a part of this process. So it's really about that and learning that and experiencing that. That is more important than the outcome here. Okay, so just know and recognize that, like, yeah, this is a journey that I designed for myself, that I wanted to go on, and I'm going to go on it, and I'm going to enjoy it to the best of my ability. And also, it's so important as a part of this process not really hanging on to any parts that you would define as negative. So you can reframe them as opportunity to learn and to grow. Okay? We also have the Ace of Swords here. Yeah, so this is really about letting go of the negative energies and the negative belief systems and viewpoints and any energy that is keeping you stuck. Okay? What do we have? So we have the Page of Pentacles here as well. All right. So, yeah, I feel like you're going to do that. So we have sort of like this evolution here of you working on those challenging, limiting beliefs and letting them go. And allowing yourself to be enthusiastic, to take on new adventures, to really want to grow and work with your partner, to collaborate. You are also willing to learn here. And just be careful that you're not obsessing too much on the final outcome and having expectations of what the relationship should look like or be like. Okay, so this is about you really sharing your desires and being open to that, and then collaborating with your partner so that you both are able to experience the desires that you both have. Okay? All right. So let's get some oracles here before we close out. So we have Shakti and that solar plexus chakra, and that is an area where you are being invited to ensure that it's balanced here. So you may want to do some chakra meditations, and we do have you really coming out of, and if you haven't necessarily had a difficult, challenging time here, then that may be on the horizon. But just know, again, this is really about the lessons that you're learning here and you growing as a part of this, you raising your frequency and elevation as a part of this, and being successful after going through these events. So know that there is success at the end of the tunnel. That is the light. So don't get caught up in the experience here. So we also, wonderful. We have forward movement right here and no looking back. Okay. So know if you go on that journey, it's like full steam ahead. And we have new health, new routines, habits, and rituals. And this would also be new strategies and new philosophies for you to achieve and accomplish your goals. And this isn't just health related. This is in your relationships as well, because that's really what we're speaking to here. You can apply this to your health and wellness, but this is really about building and strengthening bonds and relationships. So you will find new strategies to do that, and you will, it looks as though, be very open to that, to working on that. So we have I am here, and there's a lot of this energy that you can pull in to assist you this week from the Aries qualities. That would be motivation and being independent and speaking up and speaking your truth and being a leader, displaying leadership qualities, being creative, being passionate, being strong and confident and a go-getter. And also, I love this, being comfortable with risk here, because this may be a risk here. We got a lot of things going on here. So just get comfortable with that and take the risk, take calculated risks that you feel comfortable with and that you trust in. Okay, Libra, so those are the messages I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know how this resonates. Have a wonderful week and take care.